Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Sercacraft. It is I, Xilestar, and today we're going to be continuing with where we left off. Which is probably no progress. I am sorry, I've been very distracted on trying to get other things ready to go. So I haven't really put much time into this. I apologize for that. But technically, you could call it an excuse, but I have a good one. I've been heavily working on my Oblivion mod, finishing off a bunch of stuff for it, to be honest, and getting it all prepped and ready to go for the, technically, the next session of the Oblivion modded playthrough, and also getting it prepped and ready to go for the Oblivion mod playthrough as well. So, hooray for that nonsense, pretty much. So this will be a short session like I did when I was sick. We're only going to do 4 videos this time instead of the normal 6. The reason why is because I am in need of Sercacraft videos, and right now I am desperate into getting more of them. So pretty much I just want to do this very quickly, and then when I get enough time later on, I'll be able to finish off Sercacraft. And by Sercacraft I mean like the actual like world and stuff like that. Or for me personally, it's the base. It's Arcanix, and then I can finally continue working on the 1.21 base that I've been preparing, that I've been holding off for as long as I can, pretty much. And the only reason why I've been postponing it so many times is because of literally of the Oblivion mod. So I keep like pushing it aside. I keep going like, I'll work on it tomorrow, and then like tomorrow arrives, and then it's like I feel like being lazy today. I feel like not doing anything. So then I stay and not do anything, and then by the time that like a week passes pretty much. It's the same thing as what happened when I was going with what was it? It was the with the Sword and Shield DLC. It's the same exact scenario, just a little bit different because of the game. So pretty much for that game's DLC, I had a plan in which that I was going to play around with having like a fully kitted out like Roaring Moon and Iron Leaves, and then I was like, I can postpone it for a week, I can postpone it for a week, I can postpone it for a week, I can postpone it for a week. And I kept doing that. I kept saying that I was going to postpone it for an additional day or week or whatever it was. And then by the time the DLC came out, it blindsided me. And I went, oh, I didn't do any of the things that I said I was going to do. Whoops. So instead, you know what I did? I owned up to it, said I forgot to do this one thing that I I wanted to do. So instead, I pretty much just did that. I set aside what I was supposed to do and what I wasn't supposed to do, and now all I need to do is just do ogre ousting stuff, which I do want to do a complete session of that, but I want to wait until a patch rolls out specifically for the bug that I have been experiencing. Apparently it's supposed to be coming out either sometime this week or sometime next week. Not quite sure. It says before the mid of October. So it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be literally 10 minutes from now. Who knows? This is why I don't... The thing with this whole bug fix is that it should have been a day 2 bug fix. Like, this should have been like week 1 bug fix, pretty much. It's been about a week and a half, I think. I almost said Isle of Armor in my head, and I was like, wait, that's not what it was. For the Isle of Kitakami to pretty much come out. I don't care if that's not what its name is. That's pretty much what my brain is going towards. Anyway, so pretty much, yeah, like I had so many plans beforehand, before I even started recording, and then all of a sudden, all of them came by through and through when I found out that the DLC came out right when I thought it was supposed to come out, which is amazing. Because not only does this actually help me out not only does that help me out with the videos, but that also gives me more than enough time to record, edit, get it all ready to go. Now, I was a little bit angry with Crown Tundra because of its release date. Now, not because of like the day was so inconvenient for me. It was because it was supposed to be released at like, I think it was like October 28th or something like that. And I specifically made sure that that day I had nothing planned and nothing was going to disturb us during that time. Can you guys stop pushing my freaking, stop closing the door on me? Anyway, so like I had everything planned beforehand. Everything was pre-planned. I was going to spend about like, the whole time playing it. Then all of a sudden, no update throughout the entire day, and I was I was really angry. I thought I got the date wrong, and I kept checking, and it's like, no, it's today's date. So I was like, I'm confused. And then all of a sudden, you know what happens? I had to like go to sleep kind of thing. And then by the time I woke up, it was like 5 in the morning, I think, or something like that. It was like 5 a.m. Was it 5 a.m.? Or was it like 3 in the morning? I don't know. It was like sometime in the morning, and then all of a sudden, I can access the DLC, and I was so angry. But I sucked it up, and I ended up just doing the videos as I would normally do, except for behind the scenes, I was very angry at the fact that, like, it didn't come out the day that I thought it was. So literally, I took a day off from everything, pushed everything aside for 24 hours, only to find out that the DLC wasn't going to come out that day. So I was very, very angry. And same thing would happen with, well, not really with this DLC. With this DLC, I tried to do as much as I could before they ended, but unfortunately, I couldn't do one of the side quests. Technically, I couldn't do two at the time of the release date. Because one, I didn't want to recatch all the Pokemon again, because again, that would be very boring. And two, I couldn't do one of them because, as we found out later on, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet has a bug in which how trainers operate. So when you defeat a trainer, the game stores that you've defeated that trainer in memory. Now, I don't know why that it does this, but it does this. Anyway, so when Scarlet and Violet came out, they put a cap on how many trainers that, you would be able to face. And they put the cap at 300. But there's only, like, I think it was like 263 or 273 trainers or something like that. So, you're not going to hit that cap at all. But when the... Oh, Teal Mask, that's what it's called. But when the Teal Mask came out, they added, like, I think 25 or so trainers or something like that. So now you're hitting over that cap now. Oh, got glow berries, nice. But now you're hitting over that cap. Now that becomes a problem because, because like it becomes a problem because of the fact that because the game only registers a certain number of items or a certain number of trainers, and this DLC, adds trainers, but it doesn't change the maximum amount that it checks for. Guess what happens? It makes it refuse to check for any further. So literally, one of the trainers for one of the side quests, because you're supposed to beat like 7 like top like very tough trainers, and then you're supposed to beat their head boss. But unfortunately, I could beat the 7 trainers, but unfortunately, it couldn't record one of them, which was very odd for me. And one of the things that I've been seeing on Reddit is that for some odd reason, people are saying that they can, that like 3 or 4 trainers wouldn't register. And I'm just confused because I faced every trainer inside of Paldea, according to every map that I have been able to find that specifically has all the Paldean trainers. So unless unless the Kitakami Island ones aren't up to date, and so I'm missing a few trainers there, I don't know. personally, I have no idea. And I haven't really touched my Scarlet since the last recording, which I will be putting into small videos. I kept trying to think, should I make it into small videos or should I not? But yeah. So you guys are gonna know this before the Teal Mask videos are even edited, for that matter. Like they're not even edited right now. But you have to do a mini game for one of the side quests. And I was going through a bunch of different times, trying to figure out the strategy to kind of beat it in a record time. I literally looked up a video of how to do it. So you're supposed to be able to finish the whole sort of course or the sort of mini game within like 2 minutes and 30 seconds for this one item that you need in order to finish this one side quest. And I literally looked up a video that shows how to do it with under like within like 30-40 seconds pretty much. And while I'm not saying that it's a very easy thing to do, but between the two methods that you're supposed to actually do it, or the two methods that you could do it, I am actually very happy that this method was actually found, because it was a lot easier than what I was doing. Now, are you going to get 40 seconds exactly all the time? No. It has to do with, the collision of the thing, as I kept getting angry about. It was the collision of the ball that they used. It wasn't really making much sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was making sense and I'm just a fool. But anyway. So yeah, so I want to do some videos about Ogre Ousting. I might not get all the rewards on screen. So there's a special reward if you beat normal, I think like 6 times, I think. And there's also a reward when you beat hard mode for the first time as well. You get like a special Pokemon. I might not do all that stuff on screen. I might do them off screen. But maybe I'll do a video showing how to actually go about and get it. So maybe like I'll do the Switch video kind of thing and just do it that way. So I have the Switch recording like the NPC saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give you this." I forget what it's called. I think it's called Fairy Feather. I think it just boosts the fairy moves. I think is the normal difficulty one, and then the last one, of course, is like a shiny Munchlax, which is fine. But like the items that I really want is the Fresh Start Mochis, because those are going to be giving me ample opportunities. Also, I know that what I should be doing right now is trying to finish off the story for this version of Minecraft that we have placed here. However, I, of course, not to say that I don't want to, but like I want to wait until Arcanix is finished. Like all the storage is all put away and everything else. Even my inventory is all put away, kind of thing, before we go and start doing things in the Nether. So yeah, so that's the kind of thing that's where my mind is at right now. That and trying to figure out how to get the one thing to not be broken on my mod. Oh, what fun. Oh, so last time I recorded Oblivion modded playthrough, I was running into an issue with something. We found the solution, and apparently the person I was talking to give me some help on it actually was using something that he used for a different scenario, and it actually worked for this one too, so I was really happy about that. It actually works perfectly, so we'll be able to get through that. Not only that, I also have to go through iMod and delete things. delete things. Yeah, I gotta go and delete a few things. So while I was looking around for different things that I wanted to add to my mod, I was also thinking of things to remove because of certain other things. So if you're not sure what's going on, allow me to explain. Because if you watch Oblivion and you're watching this, obviously you're going to be able to know ahead of time before those videos come out. But pretty much in a nutshell, I have moved everything from my previous mods, so Castle Trilesia and Battle Butler, and everything else kind of before that, if there was anything before that, over to my current mod, which I have renamed to something else, which we will get to when we get to it pretty much. Hey. However, I have been running into several issues and such, so I've been trying to fix those issues. So while I've been working on other things, I've been trying to fix up these issues, and a lot of things are not really going the way that I want them to, but it's fine. I'll work with it. So first things first is that I've re-added the castle back in. The difference is that it is in a work in progress area, so it's not like we can access it, but I will be disabling access to it, so it's not that big of a deal. Another thing is that I have re-added Lair and Hideout back into the original mod, but I've also made it so though like we can't access them just yet until they have been fully 0 AXM'd and the whole works kind of thing. So yeah, we're gonna be waiting until that's done. But a third thing that I wanted to talk about is that I might even just remove all of those cells in general. So something that came to light is that I've been putting off fixing up Sanctuary because of other reasons, because I keep finding something else that I need to fix. Like the thing that I was trying to fix before was giving giving a menu or giving a prompt specifically whenever you try to give an NPC the sort of the broken effect that gives them like infinite regeneration, pretty much. That's not what it does, but it gives them a lot of regeneration and it also boosts their maximum health by like I think 500 or something like that. So again, like it's insane. But again, the problem that I am having is that I'm trying to fix this script, and then I'm trying to come up with new ideas as well. And unfortunately, though, like each and everything that I'm trying to add clashes with something else because it takes even more time to do. I think I might have talked about this last time. I might not have, but I'm also thinking that I did, which is weird. But I added every single unique item in which that can be obtained within the base game and all of the DLCs of Oblivion. It's all the DLCs like Shivering Isles, the Vile Lair, Merwin's Razor, all of them. All of them have been added. The only ones that I couldn't add, and this is by the limitation of the game, this isn't like the limitation of the construction set, this is just a limitation of the game, in which that I couldn't do all of these special like staffs or staves, however you want to pretty much call them as, for the game. I couldn't do anything of that. And I also got rid of quest specific items as well. So there is 2 daggers that I know of right off the bat that are useless for any other reason but the quest that they are specifically targeting. Those ones I didn't do. Those ones I didn't add. And there was a very good reason why I didn't want to add them. That is because they don't do anything other than try to interact with that specific quest that they are supposed to be for. And because they only interact with that quest and not interact with anything else, so like one doesn't like, so it's not like Merwin's Razor where it tries to instant kill the enemy. That's not what it does. weapons, what these weapons do is that I know one of them is a part of the Dark Brotherhood, which is a poisoned blade. Like, that's all it does. And then what's the other one? It's a part of a quest line that I probably have only ever done once. And it is a very, very buggy mess. And from what I remember, is that if you're ever playing on console, you are not going to have a great time. But for the most part, yeah, like this kind of thing is going to be like insane for us. Like, it's going to be one of the biggest updates, but it's also going to be one of the most like saddest updates too. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to get rid of Sanctuary from the mod entirely. Now, it is going to be a sad time because of the fact that, like, you know, I've grown to like the Sanctuary. I just need to work on one room. However, I've been putting off that room for about a month, maybe 2 months now, on just finishing off that tiny corner that's in the living quarters area. I've put it off for so long that I might as well just trash it and get rid of it. Now, of course, I can't do that because not only does that forage area, not only does like Sanctuary have some key items in which that I want to keep, but it also has some key features that I want to make sure that they are still accessible. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do, and I've been thinking of upgrading the lodge a tiny bit, so that it would have that extra area, like it would have an extra area specifically for all those items that I am going to be not having room for anymore. But of course, that has its own fair share of problems as well. So what I have to do is I have to go through each and every cell inside of Coral, because that's where... No. Okay, fine. I'm taking your bed then. You don't have a bed anymore. So like I have to go through each and every house, or every interior inside of Coral to find out if there is a basement area that looks perfect. I know one for a fact doesn't, and I think that's the house that pretty much looks like the one that I've been, looks like the interior that I've been using. And I got to take a look at each and every other one and find out if they actually have the interior that I am looking for. It doesn't have to be completely full. I mean, I can empty it. It's not that big of a deal. I have things that I can add to it, so it's not... But it has to be an area in which that I can put the forage in, because I still want that forage, at least for now, until the castle gets fully implemented. Right now, I don't have the castle fully implemented. It just has, like... It has a place where it can go, so though, like, it's at least in the mod, and I can interact with it. The only thing is that it's just not fully developed yet. Like, it doesn't have all the interiors that I want, or it doesn't have all the key features that I want to give it. But another thing that I've been thinking of as well is getting rid of, like, the lodge, the lair, and, well, mind you, hideout is different, or hideout is in a weird department kind of thing. Like, it's in a weird gray area where it wouldn't interfere with the castle. It would actually improve it. But again, because it's in such a weird area, I don't know if I want to do it. And because of where I'm getting most of the items from for the castle is from a different mod, I'm going to be adding those items, or some of that mod's interiors added onto mine. So that's like an extra, I think the areas that I want to add is like 12. So that's 12 extra interiors. So that's like an extra large amount of areas in which that I could put stuff in. So even if I were to get rid of the lodge but keep some of the items in which that it can go, that's still a ton of items. That's still a ton of things that I can do. And that's just that. That's not even including like what I could do on top of that. So even if I were to get rid of, let's say, Sanctuary and Lair and Hideout, I still have a ton of other things that I could do with it. Like, I'm not even joking. There's still a ton of other things that I could use for my mod if I were to get rid of it. And right now we're going to be, and for the Oblivion modded playthrough, we're going to be going through a quest mod first. But then right after, we're going to be going through a house mod for the level 25 or faction, however you want to pretty much put it as, surprise. Or not really surprise, but like the mod for it. The reason why I'm going to be changing it from instead of using quest mods to that is because of the fact that I want to show off what I'm where I'm grabbing some of the castle's assets, pretty much. But not only that, though, I want to show off my idea as much as possible for the channel, so that at the very least, though, it's like I get like an extra bouncing, like an extra, I don't want to say soundboard, but I get like an extra opinion of things. Mind you, most people that have been commenting on my videos mostly just say like, wow, great video, and the algorithm randomly found your channel, it made me find your channel. It's like, thank you, but like, you don't really need to say this. Like, if you were to like if the comment said like wow, I like your videos, man, or like I like your videos, man, like I'm glad that the algorithm like directed me to you. It's like, great, that's amazing. But like, you don't need to say though like like the algorithm directed me to your channel and I like it. It's like, okay, I wish the algorithm would do that for me. It doesn't do that for me. It's weird. So the YouTube algorithm for some reason doesn't like it whenever I watch a video, because for some odd reason, instead of directing me to that person's channel again, so instead of recommending me to that person's channel for a different video, so let's say I watch some random other person's Oblivion content. So instead of recommending me to that channel for more of their Oblivion content, it'll just direct me to Oblivion content in general. It's like what? Like, you're not even going to try and, help that person out by trying to direct me towards their channel even more because I liked their channel. It's like, nope. Oh, wait, is the experience going here? No, I don't know then. There you go. Very sad. But I need the experience so that I can repair my hope. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, so like whenever like whenever I get those comments, it's like I'm flattered, but like you don't need to say it as well. Like, I understand. Like, it's the same reason why I never have an outro that everybody else has for likes and subscribing. Like, I hate that the most. That's like the most irritating thing that I've ever heard. Every time I hear that from somebody and they put that randomly in the middle of their video, you know what I do? I skip it. I don't need to hear this. Like, if I like your channel, I will subscribe and like your videos, but like usually sometimes they're one-ofs. Like, you have something that I want to watch. Like, let's say I want to find out how to best farm let's go with topical. Let's go with like Minecraft stuff. Let's say I want to find out how to get the sniffer egg kind of thing. Well, let's say I watch the first video and that shows me how to get the sniffer egg and what it can do kind of thing. Great. Am I going to subscribe to that channel and like it? No, because I only watched one video and it was very topical to what I was looking for. But I would probably end up bookmarking that channel or keeping mental note of that video or of the channel's name. So the next time, let's say I'm looking for something, let's say where to find cherry blossom trees, kind of thing. I could look up that channel and find out if there's an easier way to find them. That's it. Like, that's all I really need to say. There's not really much that needs to be said about that kind of stuff. That's why I will never say that. There was only one instance in which that I actually did, but I also didn't, if that makes sense. And that was during Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where we were fighting against or when we beat the third gym leader, they had their outro, which was pretty much a typical YouTuber thing. And it's like, okay, but like, I'm not gonna say like it tricked me into saying it. Like, I could have literally just not have said it. But like, but like, that would be the first and only time that I'll say it, unless there's a different game that I want to play that does it. Also, before I get back onto what I was talking about before, I've been putting this off for as long as possible, and I don't know why I keep putting it off. Like, every time I think about it, I'm like, why am I still doing it this way? So, one of the videos that I want to do in which that it will give me some time to kind of work on Sercacraft, or give me a break from Sercacraft enough so though, like, I don't need to keep making videos rushed like this kind of thing. It will give me like a little break with it. And plus, it's a game I really want to play too. And last time that I did it, I was sharing its slot with Sercacraft, which makes sense because Sercacraft will always be on the channel, so it doesn't really matter. But for these games, it's not going to be. So one of the games that I wanted to play is Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We played Borderlands 3 on the channel. We played all the DLCs. I think one of them was brand spanking new when it was released. And then I redid it, I think, on the channel. Did I redo it on the channel? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if I did. But anyway. So what I want to do is I want to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland on the channel. Now, of course, I am, of course, waiting for it to be going on sale again. But it's so weird, though. Because when I have no time or no, like, nothing to kind of like it's so stupid on how like when a game service or game library service like Steam or Epic Games Launcher or whatever puts their games on sale, it's always very inconvenient for me. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna tell you guys a story of when I actually bought Oblivion and Skyrim Legendary Edition for my Steam account. And you tell me if this is bad luck. So, this was back when I was in high school, I think. Yeah, I saved just enough to get Oblivion, which was $25, I think. Yeah, it was $25 or $24.99, whatever, and then with tax, because I get taxed for it, it was like 25 or 26 something or whatever. Anyway, so pretty much I bought it for like $27. Okay, I bought it for $27. I saved up all my pennies pretty much for it, so I was able to get it with all the DLCs. Blah blah blah. A week later, it goes on sale for $15. Okay, was I angry? Of course. If I waited a week, I could have saved $10. You know what? Whatever. That's fine. You know, shame on me for not waiting until it went on sale. You know, that's fine. So when it became time for me to buy Skyrim Legendary Edition, I didn't hesitate. So I ended up paying, I think it was like, what, $40, I think? I think it was 40 at that time. Was it 40? Yeah, I think it was either 40 or something like that. Either Oblivion was $15 and it went on sale for 10, and the Skyrim was the one that was 25. It went on sale for 15. But see, I remember $40 for some odd reason, so I'll say $40. So Skyrim Legendary Edition was $40, and so I bought it because I had enough money at that time to go and pay for it. and then a week later it goes on sale for 25 bucks. $25. Like the weird instance, it's like the game companies like wait for me to pay for the game, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's on sale." But then again, this is on Steam though. This isn't on like Epic Game Store. So I don't know how exactly like Steam judges if a game should be like on sale or whatever. But yeah, like it was so inconvenient for me. Like it literally waits like a week after I pay for it too. Yeah, another thing that I want to do is that I want to do something very special for the channel for the 5 year thing. And again, I keep putting it off just like everything else. So the 5 year, I think I've already kind of spoiled it a little bit, but it has something to do with Nehrum. So I kind of want to show off a little bit of what like what it is. So pretty much the TLDR version of it is that if I was better at editing, it would be a way better production thing. Maybe if I am better at editing, maybe I'll give it another and maybe I'll give it another attempt. Maybe it'll be like a 10th year or something like that. I don't know. But pretty much for the 5 year anniversary of the channel, we were going to reminisce about one of the first ever series on the channel, which is Nehrum. As you know, this channel pretty much has three series that actually pioneered the channel. Sercacraft is one of them for 1.16.5, I think, or 1.16 in general. And Nehrum was one of them. And the other one was, I think, it was Borderlands 3, I think. Were those the only three? I feel like Pokemon was in there too. Was Pokemon a part of it? I don't remember. Oh yeah, Pokemon Insurgents. That was the one that also was one of the pioneers of the channel, pretty much. One of the oldest series is on the channel. And of course, between those series in general, I think Borderlands finished first before the other two finished. But of course, I can't really have a book in an Oblivion mod just showing like how like my Pikachu beat like this Eevee. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. What's a Pikachu? What's an Eevee, right? So it doesn't make much sense. But for Nehrum it makes sense because Nehrum is an Oblivion sort of like is an Oblivion mod, so it makes sense that I would have like mentioned of it or mentions of it. So again, it makes sense. But again, for like everything else, it's like I don't know. So another thing as well is, or another thing that I wanted to mention as well is that for the Nehrum, it was going to be from start to finish, pretty much not like a brief summary, but like pretty much a fully detailed events of whatever happened during it. I'm not going to make it into like a big blockbuster or anything like that, or a big high production kind of thing. It's just going to be like, a sit down talking about, like what we did in Nehrum and how much fun we had and blah, 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 pretty much. But again, though, like, well, that's all fine and good kind of thing. That's also going to be kind of boring for me because that means like I have to sit down on my computer pretty much, watch however long Nehrum is. I think it's like about 16 hours, I think, is how much time I actually put into it or something like that. Actually, no, I think it's like 30 or something like that hours, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I know one session beat every other session's like sort of like total because one of the sessions of Nehrum was like 5 hours and 20 minutes, which was insane to think about. But yet it actually did it. It was actually insane to think about it, and I was like, "What the heck?" That's incredibly, like, that's an incredible amount of time. Even though Nehrum was one of the most frustrating series to actually record, it actually beat like a bunch of records for the channel. I think it was the first one to get hit, what was it, 12 videos, I think? And then I think it was one of the first ones to hit 16 videos. And then it was also one of the ones that hit 20. And then that didn't get beat until Knights of the Nine Revelation, I think, where it got 28. And it's insane. Also, I'm going to be changing like how I do my video, not edits, but like not really edits. What's the wording that I want to put? It's like how I record every video, pretty much. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, here is a brief explanation of how I do things now rather than what I did before. So how I do things now is that what I do is I take the full complete video. So this one will be, let's say, an hour and 4 minutes, because that's how much I, not only do I have time for it, but that's how much I have time to put into it before I have to go do other stuff, mostly Oblivion mod stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so before so now what I do is that I chunk, I take whatever the full total is of the time, and depending on if there's any seconds in the middle or it has like an extra minute, so let's say 105 instead of 104 or whatever kind of thing, what I do is I divide it by how many videos that are actually supposed to be in that session. So if it's 105, like an hour and 5 minutes, that's what I mean by 105. I would take the 5, or I would take the 1 minute that's added extra, and I would divide it by 4, because that's how many videos we'll be able to make of the 16-minute variety. And then if it turns out that I can end up making, let's say, 4 videos at 16:15, and then whatever milliseconds or whatever it has, then that's great. That's what I do. But then what I do is that I plan ahead of how each and every one of them is supposed to be. Then what I do is that I would cut the rest of the footage, so like the 48 minutes or whatever it is at, and then I would save it as a project of, let's say, 01 for part 1, pretty much, or episode 1 or whatever. And then what I would do is that after it's saved that way, I would back out, or I would undo and then go to part 2, do the same thing, except for delete part 1 out of it, and then rinse, repeat over and over again for 2, 3, and then 4. And then after 4 is done, then we start rendering. And then once we start rendering, that's when you guys get your videos. So that's it. That's exactly how it was, or how it is now. So the time that I did before, which I wish I would have known beforehand, it would have made editing some of the video sessions so much easier. And I could definitely tell you this for a fact, that Knights of the Nine Revelation session, the one that is 7 hours and that's the whole mod, that one took so long to edit. So first of all, the first edit that had to be made was to remove all of the crashes that the mod ended up having. Oops, nobody told me that there would be a lot of crashes. And number 2, the other thing that you have to realize is, or the other thing you have to mention as well before we go too far into it, is that because of the way that I did it before, mind you, the way I do it now is not as different. It's just that I'm saving them as projects instead of doing what I used to do, which was that instead of saving them as projects, I would just render them right away. So I would still grab the correct amount of time or whatever I would need for that given video, and then render it immediately, and then change the name from, I think it starts as untitled dot whatever to 01 or 1, I think is what I did beforehand. And now what I do is that because I do it into a different system now, it makes editing so much easier. So it happened once in Diablo 3, and it happened twice during that Knights of the Nine Revelation video, or during the rendering process. I made a mistake at somewhere in the video, in which that it added an extra couple minutes here and there for other videos, or for other clips, or whatever you want to call them, pretty much. So I would have to restart from the very beginning, because I can't use the earlier footage from those earlier renders, because it started from the very beginning. So I had to change it again. So I had to do it twice. And by the way, for me to edit slash render, well, not really edit, but render Oblivion videos, for me to render a 16-minute video, it takes about 30 minutes for it to render. That's like double the time that it takes. And this is incredible timing, too. But imagine having to do up until part 22. So that's about 11 hours, only for it to be worthless, and then having to redo it. And then only to get to part 20 for the second time, only to find out there is another error and that you have to back out of it again. And then not only that, at some point you find out that the footage might have been corrupted. Oops. So instead, what I did is that for the Knights of the Nine Revelations complete, I actually had to make a actual save file for the video footage, because I was getting very frustrated at the fact that it was getting nowhere. And not only that, the video render kind of thing, for the last, I think it was like hour or 2 hours or something like that, it was a black screen. And I had to redo everything. I thought that it was actually the video itself. So I was like, don't tell me like OBS didn't capture the game for whatever reason. Because if OBS didn't like capture the game, I was going to be really angry at the fact that like it pretty much screwed me of like 7 hours of my life, pretty much, and more, because of all the edits. Because I was going to be one really angry guy. And then all of a sudden, though, like the final time, it finally worked. And I was like, great. And now with this new system in place, instead of taking 11 to 10 hours kind of thing to find this mistake, it'll take me, what, 2, maybe 3 minutes. And not only that, because I have a way for me to remote into my computer through my phone, I can literally just render videos while I'm out and about. So if I'm visiting family or whatever, what I can do is I can remote in from my phone, then just have the videos just rendered right off the bat. So though when I get back home, kind of thing, it's like, oh, hey, look at all these videos that have been rendered and are ready to be uploaded. So again, though, like that kind of stuff, though, is exactly the reason why I love this new system. I tried doing that with the old system, and it didn't really work the way that I thought it would. Also, by the way, I knew I was hitting the tree. I was trying to like deactivate the wings, but you can't deactivate the wings. Like I tried clicking space, like tried double clicking space, and it wouldn't work. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, so I tried it. It wasn't really as fluid on the phone as much as it is if you just literally just go with mouse and keyboard on a computer. So I was like, I'm gonna go try, and then when I decided to use this system, it actually works perfectly fine. Now what I do is, or what I'm gonna do in the future, is I'm gonna have an Excel spreadsheet instead of using text documents, which were my favorite into recording data of any kind, pretty much. I'm going to use an Excel spreadsheet to kind of store all of the video lengths and even their down to their milliseconds according to my editing software, or to according to what my editing software says. So though at the and not only that, it'll make it much easier. So that when I do editing or whatever, I could do it right off the bat because it's easy to access. Because what I'll end up doing is that I think I'll probably just end up, instead of using Excel spreadsheets, I'll probably just use Google Sheets or something like that. I'll have it stored on the channel, so though I can access it anytime I want to access my channel stuff, so though it's easier. Oh, also, in case anybody is going to comment this as well, I've gotten this on one of my Pokemon stuff, on one of my Teal Mask videos. I know your heart is in the right place, but like this isn't like I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's that I'm not interested in the clicks and the and getting very famous on YouTube. I would love for it to happen. I would love to be able to monetize this channel in such a way in which that I can earn money from doing absolutely what I love to do. But again, nothing that I do can be monetized in a way, so it kind of defeats the purpose. But what this person suggested is that I should make more flashier thumbnails. Now, that defeats the whole purpose of what my channel is supposed to be. And what it's supposed to, not what it's supposed to represent, but kind of like how I wanted to do things. Although some people might be able to say that my channel is very basic or even like very lazy, lazily like driven pretty much. And you're technically correct. My mom like my channel is very lazily kind of put together kind of thing. I mean, like I could make literally like technically a second channel, call it Xilestar VODs, and that's where I could put the completes. But I chose to put the completes as a weekend only thing, so it's not like I'm overloading you guys with a bunch of videos. Like I could literally have gone with one of my first ideas, which is that when a session is done at the end of its upload cycle, it would upload the complete right away. So I would still keep the 2:30 to 3 o'clock kind of upload schedule, but then you would also get a bonus video at 5 o'clock, which would be the complete for a completed series. Now, again, this would defeat the whole purpose of the channel. This is why I never quite understood why people always make two channels, one for their stream VODs and one for their normal videos. It's like, why don't you just make both of them combined, but just have an upload schedule specifically for each and everything? Especially for people who edit their streams heavily. So like there's like 3 channels in which that I watch that have 2 channels, one that has their VODs and one that'll have like their edited videos, like down to like turning from like a 3-hour video down to like 10-20 minutes. And I'm always just so confused at the fact that why don't they just like why don't you just let the streams be uploaded like, let's say, once a day kind of situation, or be uploaded when they can. Like if the VODs are available a day after you make them, then obviously that's when you would upload that kind of thing. And then for the edited videos, it's like, sure, make them sporadic, make them like whenever you get a chance to. So like, let's say it takes you a week to edit those, but yet you still have to make your streams. It's like, there you go. There's your whole system pretty much, right? So if you stream every day and then you have one person that's like uploading it, then again, there you go. Perfect. But yet I always find that these channels, they're even more lazier than I am in a sense. that they're trying to spread out their content to as far as they can possibly go. Like they're trying to like overload their sort of their schedule by having too many channels to kind of monetize, and not only that, monitor. Me, I only have one channel to monitor, and that's the Xilestar channel. And because I only have one channel to sort of keep track of, I know what to do. The only thing is that I got to keep track of the upload schedule, which I was on top of, I think, definitely last year around this time. I was on top of it. We were like a month ahead, I think, in video uploads. I think it was it this time? Yeah, I think it was around this time. We were a month ahead. So since we're in October now, I would already have November's uploaded by now. November would be already done. And I would be able to spend this month recording, getting ready for December. So that by the time that November starts rolling in, we already have December's videos starting to be uploaded. And I think at some point that sort of stopped. I stopped kind of doing that. And the reason why I stopped doing it was because of the fact that, like, or no, the reason why I started doing that was because my service provider for internet decided to, or not decided, but they had an unfortunate accident in which that everybody didn't have internet on their service for 5 days. And I think I was glad that I think I had the whole thing already uploaded kind of thing ahead of time. Because if not, you guys wouldn't have had videos. Because I couldn't upload. Because I'm not going to bring, or I'm not going to upload like 2 videos a day on my phone. Because that's going to be very sloppily done. Because I can't copy paste the titles that I have pre-made, pretty much. The only thing that is written, actually, of my titles is the part number and the actual, like, description of what I want, of what the video actually has, which is of the, like, which is in the title, pretty much. So the thing after the part number, that's written. The beforehand is only written once. So for the teal mask, the part that says, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Teal Mask DLC, or whatever I named it as, that part is copy-pasted. I had to write it once, and that's it. I don't rewrite it each and every time. And again, I have it saved on a text document, which makes it easier for me to just grab the title. I think it would be easier if I could have something that's like Excel kind of thing, but it's separate. So that, like, I could just copy the cell kind of thing, and it would just grab all the information from there and just move it over. It'd be easier. But again, that's not really what we're here for. We're here to just kind of have fun. So yeah, so I have no idea what to name these episodes. I think the last couple ones I've been, I don't want to say very lazy, but I've been kind of distracted on trying to figure out what to name them. I don't know what it is. I've been trying to figure out, like each and every time I make a video, or no, not make a video. Each and every time I upload a video, I go through the video already, and I watch it from up until the midpoint. If nothing happens, then of course I go farther than that kind of thing. But in the case of everything, I try to go for as far as I could possibly go before it starts getting to the worst part, pretty much. I'm just going to type this in just so we have it, because this will make things much easier later on when I have to actually do things. I'm hoping this is actually the coordinates. There we go. That'll make things much easier. So all I gotta do is move this over to the laptop, so though when I'm out and about over the weekend, I can be able to upload, or I can be able to edit it as we go along, as I am away, pretty much. Because again, I'm gonna have a fun time this weekend by pretty much removing Sanctuary from my Oblivion mod and working on Arcanix. If I have time this week, probably during the editing process, I might have enough time to go and do it, but I doubt it. I doubt I'm going to have time to do it, and mainly the reason why I say that I doubt that there's going to be enough time to do it is because of the way that my days are shifted towards. Like, the way that my days are is, like, it's crazy. Like, sure, I might have more lazy days, but there's a reason for the reason why I have those lazy days is because, like, I barely have enough time for myself. And if you've ever had a big, or if you ever watch, like, big YouTube channels, they'll have this one instance in which that they'll have, like, that one, like, they'll take, like, a week or something like that away from their channel because they feel burnt out and they want to sort of relax and such. And to me, it's like, and to me, it's like, okay, like, I understand, though, like, for bigger channels like that, it makes sense that you want to give yourself a break. But see, for a channel like mine, it doesn't. And it's not because, like, I don't edit my videos, so it doesn't make much sense that I would have it. It's not that. It's mainly because, like, I don't understand why you need to sort of, like, for a channel like mine, I can't really say that kind of thing. Because I've already had the luxury of having, like, a month ahead of schedule at some point. So it's like, I can't really say that I need a break. The only time that I would actually ever need a break, or the only ever, like, I never took a break until it became in the middle of July where I was sick and I had to go to the hospital. Like, it got that bad. And that's the only time that I took a break from the channel. Mainly because I was away from my computer. I have my laptop with me, but I can't really record with a laptop, and especially I can't record with a laptop with no good microphone like this one, and also be at the hospital. So yeah. So I couldn't really do, so I literally couldn't do much. And even trying to use, like, the hospital Wi-Fi to upload, I think it was an Oblivion video or something like that. It took so long to do it. You know how long it takes for me to upload a video in terms of just, like, getting the title and the description properly done? It takes, I don't know, we'll say like 2 minutes to do 2 videos. So that's like a day's worth of videos. With the hospital's Wi-Fi, it took me 5 to 10 minutes. And that's mostly just waiting for the remote software to go through the hospital Wi-Fi to connect to my computer to then also show me what's going on my computer. And that's insane. And that's the only time I actually took a break from the channel. And again, it was because of the fact that I was sick. Mind you, I was only in the hospital for 3-4 days, we'll say. But, like, I was told to take it easy, so I said okay. So that's why I said I was going to take a week off the channel, and then a week turned to 2, and then a week turned to 3, and then 3 turned to 4. Like, it turned into a month, and I was like, okay, you know, I need to get back to the channel. That's exactly what I did. I got back after a month. So yeah, so sorry about that nonsense. We need to get back to Arcanix. I'm hoping this is it. It is. Perfect. All right. So next time we will have all of the doors and all that stuff put in. Hopefully all of the storage that I have still in here, and this will be closed up for the first time since forever. This area will all be finished. I don't have any food, so I need to do this. Actually, this might actually have food that I need to move. So we need to move all that stuff. Do I have... I do have food in here. Perfect. All right, so I need to move all this stuff away. Yeah, so all this stuff will be put away. All of this stuff will be put away. I think I've filled like 3 of these or something like that. And... ooh, I forgot about this stuff. Yeah, I gotta find that stuff. Find a home for that stuff. And not only that, I also gotta go and make sure that everything in here is in shulkers. So, yeah. So I'll see you guys next time for some more Sercacraft.